Cancer is one of the most feared diseases in the world. And because of that fear, myths spread fast, from sugar supposedly feeding cancer to cell phones causing brain tumors. Misinformation has become everywhere online. But here's the problem. Believing false health claims can distract people from the real causes of cancer and the proven ways to reduce risk. In this presentation, we'll break down some of the most common cancer myths using actual scientific evidence from trusted organizations like the National Cancer Institute, the American Cancer Society, and the Mayo Clinic. We'll separate fear from facts, explain the difference between correlation and causation, and focus on what science truly says about cancer prevention. Let's debunk the myths. One of the most common cancer myths is the idea that sugar directly feeds tumors and that cutting sugar out completely can somehow starve cancer cells. Here's the science. All cells in the human body use glucose for energy, including healthy cells. Cancer cells do absorb glucose quickly, which is why CT scans can detect tumors using radioactive sugar tracers. But removing sugar from your diet doesn't stop cancer growth. Why? Because the body is incredibly adaptable. If you stop eating sugar, your body simply converts fats and proteins into glucose to keep functioning. Now, that doesn't mean excessive sugar is harmless. High sugar intake can lead to obesity, and obesity is linked to at least 13 different types of cancer. So the real danger isn't sugar directly feeding tumors. It's the long-term health effects associated with poor diet and weight gain. The key takeaway: balanced nutrition matters far more than extreme dieting myths. Some people still fear that cancer can spread from person to person through touching, sharing food, or close contact. That is completely false. Cancer itself is not contagious. You cannot catch cancer like a cold or flu. Cancer develops from genetic mutations inside a person's own cells. Casual contact, hugging, kissing, sharing meals, or being near someone with cancer poses absolutely no risk. However, this myth exists because certain viruses, they are contagious and can increase cancer risk. For example, HPV can raise the risk of cervical cancer, while hepatitis B and C can increase the risk of liver cancer. But it's important to understand the distinction. The virus spreads, not the cancer itself. Even rare cases, like organ transplant transmission, are extraordinarily uncommon, occurring in only about 2 out of every 10,000 transplants. So instead of fear or isolation, people with cancer need support, compassion, and accurate information. Ever since mobile phones became popular, rumors have circulated claiming that radiation from phones or power lines causes brain cancer. But decades of scientific research have found no convincing evidence supporting this claim. Cell phones emit what's called non-ionizing radiation. Unlike ionizing radiation, such as X-rays or ultraviolet rays, a non-ionizing radiation does not have enough energy to damage DNA. One of the largest studies ever conducted, the Danish cohort study, tracked more than 358,000 phone users for over 13 years and found no link between mobile phone use and brain tumors. Researchers also noticed something important. Despite the massive global increase in cell phone usage since the 1990s, brain cancer rates have remained relatively stable. Science clearly distinguishes between dangerous ionizing radiation and everyday non-ionizing radiation from phones and Wi-Fi. So while excessive screen time may affect sleep or mental health, current evidence does not show that phones cause cancer. Another long-running health myth claims that antiperspirants and deodorants, especially those containing aluminum or parabens, can cause breast cancer. The theory suggests that these chemicals are absorbed through the skin near the breast and somehow trigger tumor growth. But scientific evidence does not support this claim. Research shows that most aluminum compounds are blocked by the outer layer of skin and do not reach breast tissue in harmful amounts. In fact, a 2024 meta-analysis reviewing multiple case control studies found no significant connection between underarm products and breast cancer risk. Major organizations, including the American Cancer Society, continue to state that there is no conclusive evidence linking deodorants or antiperspirants to cancer. So if you choose deodorant based on scent, comfort, or personal preference, that's perfectly fine. When it comes to cancer prevention, focusing on proven risk factors matters far more than worrying about everyday hygiene products. Many people believe that microwaving food in plastic automatically releases dangerous cancer-causing chemicals into meals. This myth is partially based on truth, but it misses important context. Not all plastics are the same. Containers labeled microwave safe undergo testing to ensure they can handle heat without releasing harmful levels of chemicals. The real concern comes from using plastics that were never designed for microwave use, as like old takeout containers, margarine tubs, or damaged plastic packaging. These can melt or break down under high heat. Another misconception involves dioxins, toxic compounds linked to cancer. Scientific evidence shows that microwave-safe plastics do not release dangerous dioxin levels during normal use. To reduce risk, experts recommend checking for microwave-safe labels or using glass and ceramic containers when heating food. So the issue isn't microwaves themselves. It's using the wrong type of container. Artificial sweeteners have sparked controversy for decades, with many people fearing they directly cause cancer. But modern scientific reviews tell a much more nuanced story. In 2023, the International Agency for Research on Cancer classified aspartame as possibly carcinogenic. That sounds alarming, but context is everything. The World Health Organization's food safety experts also confirm that current approved consumption levels remain safe. To exceed the recommended safe daily intake, a 70-kilogram adult would need to drink roughly 9 to 14 cans of diet soda every single day. Regulatory agencies like the FDA continue to approve several artificial sweeteners as safe when consumed within established limits. That doesn't mean people should consume unlimited processed drinks or foods. Moderation still matters. But based on current evidence, normal consumption of approved artificial sweeteners has not been proven to cause cancer in humans. Cancer myths spread because fear spreads faster than facts, but science gives us something far more powerful than fear evidence. Instead of worrying about myths surrounding sugar, deodorant, microwaves, or cell phones, experts recommend focusing on the factors that truly affect cancer risk. Tobacco use remains one of the leading causes of cancer deaths worldwide. Excessive UV exposure significantly increases the risk of skin cancer. Maintaining a healthy weight and staying physically active can lower the risk of at least 13 cancer types. And perhaps most importantly, early screening and regular medical checkups save lives through early detection. The message is simple. Skip the misinformation. Trust evidence-based medicine and focus your energy on habits that genuinely protect your health. Because when it comes to cancer prevention, science matters.